All right. So I recently had a guitar built by a luthier in Cumming, Georgia, named Rick Gunn. He started Rose Creek Guitars, and he let me borrow another guitar. And yesterday, so I've been playing around with the one he built me this past summer, as well as the one he let me borrow, and I'm very excited about some of the subtle differences, but also just the beauty of these guitars. So I wanted to kind of do a review and give him a shout out and just say I'm very, very impressed with the quality and the consistency all down the neck, the customization, the customizability, if that's a word. Sorry, it's a slow Sunday here in the Peyton household, and that's a great thing. So I've just been piddling around with these all morning. I look like I just woke up, but I've actually been up since about 6 a.m. So, yeah, I just wanted to go over some of the things I love, and some of the differences between the two and kind of how they complement certain styles, but are flexible enough to kind of jump in with any style, really. I don't play all the styles. I'm trying to learn some styles that I don't play. But mainly, I use finger style with finger style picks, and so I wanted something that kind of complemented that. So after talking with Rick and doing some research on what people in my style were playing, I got to kind of customize it from. I think we started off as wanting like a D28 style with East Indian rosewood and a spruce top, and that changed drastically once I started playing around with some different guitars and checking out sound and stuff like that. Which a D28 is a D28 style is an incredible guitar. This seemed to be more along the lines of complementing the way I play. So this is actually a Brazilian rosewood mixed with a German spruce, moon spruce, European top. And the reason I chose that is there's actually a scale that kind of goes over what type of wood gives you what type of sound. So the European moon spruce is really good for a softer touch finger style, and it's really really responsive to a softer touch. And then the Brazilian, a little less bassy than like a East Indian, a little more controlled. What I like about that is when you strum it, you can hear every single individual note. I mean, just ring out and it resonates, but very, very controlled. It's not a chaotic sound or even a loud sound. It's just a very controlled, that was a wrong note, controlled sound. So then, especially when you're, picking within a chord, it's really nice to be able to hear all those sounds individually, but also complementary. So like, so I love that controlled but resonant sound, and even if you plug it in, he put I forget the exact pickup he put in here, but it's one of the higher end um, pickups available on the market, and it just I bought a little Fishman for it, and it really really just has a killer sound when plugged in as well. But it also sounds really really good strummed. And another cool thing is, as far as the inlays and the wood choices, I mean the tuning keys, every detail, the size neck for the way that you grip the neck. On mine, I chose, I believe it's a standard 1/11/16 neck width, and then he put the white surrounding the ebony. And then with the pearl inlays, he let me choose really whatever I could come up with. And one of the things I wanted was a canoe, of a picture I sent him of a canoe that, I don't know, just kind of fit me. And because I build the canoes, and so he was able to inlay that out of pearl, and I love it. I mean, every time I look at it, I'm just kind of blown away with how perfect it is for me. And that's really kind of what Rick, is about, finding the perfect guitar for you. And so he even let me, all the way down to naming it. And this one I called Poncho, just after one of my favorite songs called Poncho and Lefty. And the tuning keys, Rick put the Waverly tuning keys, which are the best ones on the market available. I mean, it's really important for your keys to be able to keep your guitar in tune, and so there's not a better option. And so I was really appreciative of that. Bridge made out of also Brazilian rosewood, same thing with the top with the inlaid Rose Creek on the headstock. Obviously a bone nut and saddle. I think other than that, yeah, just the sound of this thing. I mean, it's and the more and more I continue to play it, the more and more it's opening it up, and that's pretty much going to be true with any guitar, but especially a custom-made, handmade guitar with really, really high-end wood choices, tone woods. I play a lot too with my, just with my fingers. I really prefer to strum with my fingers as opposed to with my with a pick. But even with that, you can just hear every individual note, all 6 strings. I love that. And the mahogany. So this one is really, really unique. You can kind of see, look at the body of that thing. So this is a 12 fret dreadnought made out of mahogany. Look at that. Look at that. With slotted headstock, upside down, slotted headstock. Grover tuning keys on this one. Again, great tuning keys. I think this is just Rick's guitar, one of Rick's guitars for himself. But again, the 12th fret, which is really, really cool. So it's going to give you, the strings aren't quite as tight, so it's a little easier to play. But the benefit of this one, this is an Adirondack spruce top, I'm pretty sure. Rick, tell me if I'm wrong. But same Brazilian rosewood on the bridge. I guess the benefit of the 12 fret, one, it's a shorter, so where the neck meets the body is a shorter length. I'm finding, again, I've only had it for a day, that it's really, really comfortable because my arm isn't go as far out from my body, right? A traditional, or I guess this is probably the traditional. No, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know what's more old timey. But the 14th fret, I believe, became more popular later. So, meaning at the 14th fret is where it meets the body. I don't play a ton down the neck, and so it's not an issue for me as far as being able to get to some of those lower frets. I could see that being an issue with some folks. Kind of what I'm looking for is more. I want to start doing a little more flat picking, and so I'm looking for something with a little more, resonance, but also just really, really good for strumming, which I'm finding this kind of is. Playing a little more bluegrass style these days, or wanting to, and I just kind of want something to complement that style. This kind of seems to be what I'm landing on. I think I would probably go the Adirondack. I guess the big benefit is you can hit these strings as hard as you possibly want, and the ceiling for this thing, as far as not losing, not just getting chaotic, the harder you strum is very, very high. So you can play this thing really, really hard and it not be an issue. Play a lot at the 5th fret, so that's why I have a capo there. Play in C, so I guess G. Hence, bluegrass, you pretty much don't go past the 5th fret, except when you do. It's also a really, really nice sound. And I'm digging the mahogany sound. It's very, very different than what I have in the German spruce with the Brazilian rosewood. I would say it's a little warmer. Yeah, a little warmer, louder, a little louder. I guess to kind of makes sense because, when you're hitting these strings, the sound has a little more chance to bounce around in this body and kind of fill up the space and then come back out at, the audience facing. I like that. So I guess if you were picking, or you were at a jam, and you were picking at a jam, you're going to be able to stand out a little more probably with something like this as opposed to something like the other guitar I was showing you. The other guitar is, I think, really, really ideal for someone who plays by themselves a lot, which is me. As a solo, plays solo and kind of just wants to be heard as solo. This, I feel like, would probably complement, having other instruments mixed in a little better. together sound. Like when you strum, you're not hearing as much of the individual notes, which is fun, especially for rhythm. Bass here. Anyways, that pretty much does it. I know this was a long video, 15 minutes. Thanks for watching. If you're in the market for a guitar, check out Rick Gunn. He'll let you come by the shop and try out anything. 100% customizable. Just a good dude making a good guitar. So that should be on his business card. Thanks, Rick.